Hi everyone, we've got a static equilibrium question here, and it's a ladder against a wall, which can be quite challenging. I know that students find these questions tricky. Okay, so what does it say? It says a beam AB, so let's have a look. We've got a beam AB there, has a mass M and a length of 2A. The beam rests in equilibrium with A on rough horizontal ground and B against a smooth vertical wall. The beam is inclined to the horizontal an angle of theta, as shown in figure 2. The coefficient of friction between the beam and the ground is mu. The beam is modelled as a uniform rod resting in a vertical plane that is perpendicular to the wall. Using the model, show that mu is equal to a half cot theta. 5 marks, wow. So step 1, let's get our sketch going. Okay, so it's a uniform, so we know that the weight is acting excuse me, at the centre of the rod. At the centre of the rod there, so that is mg. It's of length 2a, so we know that that distance is a, and that distance there is also a, because it's acting halfway up the rod. What else have we got? A normal reaction here at the ground, which we'll call R. We have rough ground, so we're going to have friction is going to be acting towards the wall, because remember that's what's stopping the ladder from slipping down. It's smooth up here, so we haven't got any friction up or down there, but we have got a reaction here, which we're going to call N for normal reaction there. Okay, let's get some angles on here. So we've got here, there's our theta, like so. And we could have another one there. Well, actually, this is an alternate angle up here, so if I make that a bit bigger, that's theta there, and there's our appropriate right angle. Okay, so there's my sketch. So let's get straight to it. Now, we've only really got a few tools available to us in this question. Taking moments and resolving vertically and resolving horizontally. That says theta there. It's not very clear, is it? So let's, first of all, take moments about A. Now, taking moments about A is going to be really useful. We very often take moments about A, and the reason we're going to do that is because we eliminate having to think about F and R, and we're going to be able to get some kind of an expression for this normal reaction up here, which could be useful to us. So if we're going to take moments about A, it's in equilibrium, so the sum of the clockwise turning moments is going to equal the sum of the anti-clockwise turning moments. So what are our clockwise turning moments? We've got a component here from mg, so that is going to be mg cos theta times by A. It's cos because this side here is the adjacent in this triangle, okay, and we want the component that's perpendicular to the rod. So therefore it's mg cos theta, and the distance away from where we're taking moments is A. So that is a clockwise turning moment, and then over here we've got our anti-clockwise turning moment, which is a distance of 2a away from where we're taking moments, and the component of this force that's perpendicular is n sine theta. So 2a times by n sine theta. Okay, so that's one equation. We'll just kind of park that there for now. Let's now resolve vertically and horizontally. So when we resolve vertically, what have we got? We've just got that R is equal to mg, because there are only two components that are acting vertically. The F is acting in the horizontal, and so is the normal reaction. So there's no components of those in the vertical. Now let's resolve vertically. Now, when we resolve vertically, what have we got? Let's resolve horizontally rather. We've just resolved vertically. So let's now resolve horizontally. So resolving horizontally this time, that's better. Okay, so we've got F there is equal to N. Oh, okay, F is equal to N. So that's our resolving vertically and horizontally. So R is equal to mg and F is equal to N. Okay, so now we've got to use all this to try and get some expression for mu is equal to a half cot theta. That's our next step. Okay, so what do we know? Well, we know that we're in limiting equilibrium, so we can say that F is, are we in limiting equilibrium? No, we're not necessarily in limiting equilibrium, but we're in equilibrium. So what we can say then is that F is going to be less than or equal to mu R. Okay, so we can say that F is less than or equal to mu R. So that's going to be fine. So from there, what else do we know? We know that f is equal to n. So we could say, subbing that in, we can say that n is less than or equal to mu r. And we could rearrange this expression up here to get an expression for n. So let's do that. So I'm going to say, we can cancel the a out because it's in both sides of that equation. So I'm going to say that mg cos theta over sine theta is equal to n. That's just come from rearranging this formula here. So let's sub that in. So I have mg cos theta over sine theta is less than or equal to mu r. But we know that mu r is equal to mg. We know that r rather is equal to mg, so we can also sub in mg like that. So that's nice now, because basically we're going to have the m's can cancel, we're going to have the g's can cancel, and we're going to have, oh hang on, I forgot my 2 there. So when I divide by this whole thing, there's going to be a 2 there. So that should have a 2 there. That looks more promising, doesn't it? Okay, so now we've cancelled everything out. We get that mu is greater than a half cos theta over sine theta, which is a half cot theta. So we can say that mu is now greater than or equal to 1/2 cot theta as required. Okay, so that is our part A done for 5 marks. Okay, so we basically took moments and we resolved vertically, we resolved horizontally, we wrote down our equation, f is less than or equal to mu r, and we just subbed in all of the various components. We subbed in the fact that f was n, we subbed in the fact that r was mg, we rearranged this equation up here to get our expression for what n was as well. And then we ended up with mu is greater than or equal to a half cot theta. Right, what happens now? A horizontal force of magnitude kmg, where k is a constant, is now applied to the beam. Okay, so this force acts perpendicular to the wall, and we're given that tan theta is equal to 5/4 and that mu is a half, and that the beam is now in limiting equilibrium. Okay, so it says use the model to find the value of k, another 5 marks. So we've got a similar kind, well, let's have a think about this. You know what, let's have a new sketch actually to sort of represent what's happening in this situation. So what have we got now? So we're now in limiting equilibrium. We have a horizontal force, kmg there, kmg, pushing towards the wall. Okay, so that's good. And then we have a normal component of reaction there. I'll talk about that in a second. We've got our weight, mg. We've got our angle theta here. We've got our angle theta there. This angle here is also theta. Now, what would I say? So we've got this kmg there pushing towards the wall. Now, because there's a component of the force pushing towards the wall, this normal reaction up here will now have changed. It's not the same one that it was before. So I'm going to call that P now. It's going to be bigger because we've got an additional force pushing the ladder towards the wall. And also it says we're in limiting equilibrium. Now the significance of that is the ladder is now on the point of being pushed up the wall. Okay, and friction acts in the opposite direction to which the ladder is about to move. So the ladder is about to basically move that way. So friction is now changed its direction. Okay, so friction is now acting that way, and let's call that Q. So whereas before friction was acting towards the wall, friction is now acting in the opposite direction. So 2 things, important things to note there. The normal reaction up here has now changed. It's going to be different because of the way we've got this horizontal force. And because we're in limiting equilibrium, the ladder is on the point of being pushed up the wall, which means that the direction of the frictional force has now changed. So that is our new sketch reflecting those things that have changed there. There's our A and there's our B, and that's perpendicular. Okay, so, well, they tell us, let's do the first thing. They tell us that tan theta is equal to 5/4. Always helpful. So therefore tan is opposite over adjacent, so 5/4. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that this is going to be, oh yeah, so think about that. So we're going to have 25 and it's going to be add 16. So it's going to be √41 there. Okay, that's fine. So what we can say is that we can find expressions now for our cosine and our sine, should we need them. Okay, yeah, well, we might need them. So I'm going to write down that, that sine theta is going to equal 5/√41, and cos theta, should we need it, is going to be 4/√41. Okay, that's fine. Now, what should we do? Let's think about this. So again, I mean, you know, we've only really got three things available to us: taking moments and resolving vertically and resolving horizontally. So let's take moments about A again, so we can get some kind of expression involving this force. We're in equilibrium, so our clockwise moments equal our anti-clockwise turning moments. Now let's have a look. This is good actually, taking moments about A, because we've got rid of like we've got rid of quite a few forces there. Oh yes, I also forgot to add on there our normal reaction R. There we go, there's our normal reaction R. So yeah, we can eliminate three forces by taking moments about A, which is quite nice. So when we take moments about A, what have we got? We've got mg A cos theta, because that's A and that's A. So this is our clockwise turning moment, is going to be mg times by A times by cos theta. So there's our clockwise turning moment. What's our anti-clockwise turning moment? It's 2A times by P, and this is going to be times by sine theta. So very similar to before there, except just one of the letters has just changed. That's fine. Let's resolve vertically. Resolving vertically, what do we have? Still just that R is equal to mg. So R just still equals mg when we resolve vertically. Let's resolve horizontally. This is where things get a little bit more complicated now, resolving horizontally. So resolving horizontally, what have we got? We've got kmg pushing towards the left. So kmg, and that must equal pushing towards the right, I'm sorry, and that must equal the forces pushing towards the left, which is Q and P. So Q plus P, because they're the forces that are acting that way. Okay, that's fine. So there's our moments and everything. Now what we're trying to do, we're trying to find out, the goal is to find out what K is in the end, okay? So let's think about this. So what do we know? Have a little think about what we're going to do here now. Well, this force here, Q, so we've got K mg there. This force here, Q, is the frictional force, okay? So F, we're in limiting equilibrium, so now F equals mu R. So F is equal to mu R. We're told that mu is a half, and we know that R equals mg. So we're going to write that down. So Q can be thought of as being a half mg. Now what about P? Let's do the same as we did before. Let's rearrange this thing to make P the subject of this equation. So that A can cancel there, we can cancel that A. And anything else can cancel here? I don't think so. So we can now just divide everything by 2 sine theta. So we're going to have mg cos theta. So mg cos theta, mg cos theta divided by 2 sine theta, divided by 2 sine theta, like that. Okay, so hopefully something's going to drop out of this. So what have we got? We've got m is common to all 3 terms. We have g is common to all 3 terms, so we can cancel that out. So we've now got that k is equal to a half plus cos theta over 2 sine theta. And we can put now in our results from before for our cos theta and our sine theta. Oh, here they are. That's very convenient. So we have that cos theta is 4/√41. So 4/√41. Sine theta is 5/√41. So what's this going to simplify into now? K is going to equal a half. And this, I can write this as 4/√41 times by, and then this is going to be that's a times there. So that is going to be dividing by a fraction is the same as timesing by its reciprocal. So we're going to end up with the reciprocal of this whole thing. So what have we got here? That is going to be, we've got 10 over root 41, so it's going to be root 41 over 10. So they're going to cancel, there's going to cancel, and then 4 divided by 10 is 0.4, and then a half is 0.5. So k is equal to 0.5 add 0.4, so therefore k is equal to 0.9, which is our answer. So yeah, a little bit trickier there, but it was essentially, the part B was the same kind of process as the part A. Okay, we basically took moments about A, we resolved vertically, we resolved horizontally. We used, in this case, because it was in limiting equilibrium, we used F equals mu r, not less than or equal to, and then we basically were able to sub everything in and solve. So I think that was tricky. I think that one, the two subsequent questions on this particular paper are actually far nicer than that one. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. Remember, if you're finding these videos useful, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, that's going to help me keep on making more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.